Greetings, my brothers and sisters. Let's do a walk through Psalms 86, 1 through 7. We'll call this a prayer of dependence and deliverance. Psalms 86 is a prayer from David, filled with a raw and honest cry for help. It's a psalms of humility and dependence, a conversation with God that reveals both David's desperation and his deep trust in God's character. As we walk through this psalm, we see a powerful model of how to approach God in times of need, not with pretense, but with genuine surrender, seeking his mercy and deliverance. And the psalm begins in verse 1. It says, "Hear me, Lord, and answer me, for I am poor and needy." Right from the beginning. David's plea is vulnerable and straightforward. He is not afraid to admit his need, his weakness, and his utter dependence on God. So often, we think we need to come before God with strength, as though our weakness might offend him. But David shows us the opposite. God delights when we come to him in humility, acknowledging our need for him. Listen, we live in a world that tells us to be self-reliant, to figure things out on our own, to avoid being seen as needy. But the truth is, we all are in need. David's example invites us to let go of the pride that keeps us from asking God for help and to open our hearts to him in complete honesty. Yes, indeed. Verse 2 through 3 reads, "Guard my life, for I am faithful to you. Save your servant who trusts in you. You are my God. Have mercy on me, Lord, for I call to you all day long." Yes, indeed, I feel it. David's request here is for protection. He asks God to guard his life. But this is more than just a prayer for physical safety. It's a prayer for spiritual refuge. God is our fortress. David knew that the greatest danger was not just the enemies he faced, but the condition of his own heart. He is asking God to protect him from the forces that threatens his faithfulness, to save him as one who trusts completely in God. Notice how David emphasizes his relationship with God. You are my God. This is personal. David is not portraying and not praying to a distant deity, but to a God he knows intimately, a God who has shown him mercy before. Has God shown you mercy? Then you should be able to trust in him. See, his trust in God's character is unshakable, and this trust proves his persistent prayer. In verse 4 we see, "Bring joy to your servant, Lord, for I put my trust in you." Even in the midst of his troubles, David seeks joy. His joy is not dependent on his circumstances, but on his relationship with God. This is a powerful reminder for us. The source of our joy is not the absence of problems, but the presence of God. When you know God got you and he's still with you, joy should abound. Listen, when we trust in him, we can experience joy, even in the midst of the most difficult seasons in our life. Moving to the next point, a God of compassion and mercy. Verse 5 reads, "You, Lord, are forgiving and good, abounding in love to all who call to you. Say that again. All who call to you. David's prayer turns to a focus on God's character. And what a beautiful description it is. Yes, indeed. God is forgiving, good, and abounding in love. These are the qualities that David clings to as he pours out his heart. It is because of who God is that David has the confidence to ask for mercy, forgiveness, and help. This verse is an invitation to all of us. If we call on the Lord, his love is waiting